She's in a relationship right now with a dude and is wondering, like, this could be a very, very, very rough year for us. How do we handle this going into a political year, a voting year? Abby's got the email.
I've been dating my boyfriend for about 4 months now. Things have been pretty great so far, but I think I need to break up with him. We've only had one fight, but it was enough to know that the next several months will be awful. So we've avoided this topic for about 4 months, but we finally had our first political discussion. It was ugly. I had no idea he and I disagreed in this area. We just never discussed it. It started as a small comment about something, and it turned into a massive argument. I'm really nervous about the next several months leading up to the election. I mean, is it even possible to date someone when you're on opposite sides of the political fence these days? After one epic argument, I'm already thinking I better hit the eject button. I really like him, but I know ending things at 4 months will be much easier than if they end in a year. I'd love to know if or how other couples survived the last election without going nuclear on each other. Is it worth trying, or should I just end things ASAP?
I mean, there seems like a pretty obvious answer here. If you care about each other enough, then you just say, you know what? We are never going to see eye to eye on this. You're on one side, I'm on the other side. We're not even listening to each other. Nothing's going to change. So you know what? In our relationship, in order to keep it healthy, this thing's off the table. Politics are just off the table.
But I would also argue, though, if you're getting in huge fights over it, it's not the superficial parts of politics. These are deep, like, things you morally connect to and on a foundational level of who you are, you believe in. And is that compatible in the long term?
I wouldn't see this as a reason to leave somebody, because I don't expect to see eye to eye with my significant other on everything. Some things you just got to, like you said, take off the table. But at the same time, I feel like if you really genuinely like this person and want to be with this person, you wouldn't even consider leaving after something like this. So if you're kind of already in that space, maybe you should.
I think politics can be so contentious because we believe certain things because of our upbringings, and I think it's like a lightning rod for things that we've gone through in our childhood or things that we've seen in adulthood that matter to us or are important to us. So I think if you guys are having epic fights about it, I think it's probably showing that you guys probably don't align in a lot of areas, but it's easier to blow over because it's not actually going to affect your life. Whereas politics and our government is going to affect everybody. However, it will give you some hope because I had a crush on this guy who aligned with me more politically, and I knew he had gotten in a relationship with a girl who was on the opposite end of the aisle. And I remember thinking because this was around the election time, I remember thinking, oh, they're going to break up for sure because there's no way, especially with the kinds of elections that we have here. It's so divisive. I'm like, they are not going to survive this. Yeah, they're still together. So you're probably going to be fine.
I kind of feel like it's almost impossible to completely separate, because if I'm really close with somebody and I'm speaking to them on a day-to-day, I'm talking to them about things that I'm reading in the news, things that I'm passionate about. So if there's something that is going on politically that is really getting underneath my skin, when we're catching up with each other at the end of the day, I'm probably going to say something about it. Like, oh my God, I can't believe blank happened, or I can't believe this is going on, or that. So it's probably naturally going to come out. So you're not just talking about politics. You really are talking about things that are going on in your life that you're just saying that I can't share with you.
Which, if you both can be chill about it, could be cool, because then you can actually get a different perspective, and that can be really valuable to show you things you didn't even think about. But if you're going to butt heads and fight about it all the time, and then your relationship is no longer safe for you to be yourself and talk about whatever you want, that's a problem.
Here's the thing now is that I don't know that politics is interpreted anything differently now than good and bad. Your candidate is bad. Mine is good. So if you're associating with a bad person, then I have to question who you are.
And it seems like it would, if you're this passionate about politics, it would go well beyond the election, because it's going to always be a reason to kind of have a conversation that's in line with politics. So if this is a passion for both of y'all and y'all both are genuinely on the other side of it, I could see how it would affect how you look at your partner, and that would affect the relationship.
Well, it's one of those things that can either bring you closer together or something that's going to divide you more. And it kind of sounds like you're more on the divisive side. Like, some people enjoy differences. Like, they get off on understanding somebody else's perspective, and it makes them feel smarter. It makes them feel like they understand the world better. But some people feel like if you disagree with me, then there's a big rift between us. So I think it's probably going to push you guys apart as the election gets closer.
Maddie, can two people that are on completely different sides of the political spectrum continue to date?
Yes, they can. My best friend's parents are on complete opposite ends of the aisle, and yesterday was their 30th wedding anniversary.
Is that right? And they talk about politics all the time.
Yeah, I mean, they jokingly, like, we'll have little spats over it and stuff like that, but they're like, I mean, we love each other. Like, why would we let that get in the way of us loving each other?
Yeah, amen to that. So long as they are open to each other's opinions, then that's great. But it feels like to me that now we're living in a place like where I'm right, you're wrong, and you can't change that. So why are we even going to talk about it?
The Bert Show.